If I said
First
this,
I said, and then she
if
said,
I
what
said,
happened?
you
And
want
after
to know
that,
what
what
happens?
happens?
Well,
Well, I know how to think. Just make up your mind and decide if you're for it or against it. Yes, make up your mind. That's it. That's the deal.
Yes.
Choose
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get to
Yes.
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 Go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. No.
No.
Quite sure
no,
of this. Really,
no,
it
no,
is.
no.
Bad idea from the
No,
start.
no,
Really,
it
it
is
is
bad
bad
idea.
idea.
No.
How
no.
did I get in this mess? It feels like I'm in prison. Hey, I don't have to think this way. Yeah, these are thoughts. They're not real. They're just thoughts. I can change. Gotta be a better way to think about things. What just happened here? It felt awful. The problem's not the problem. The problem is the way I'm thinking. The problem is yes or no thinking. The problem is you think you know the problem. First you make a problem, then you make a plan. Then you try to put the problem in the plan. Oh yeah, right. Look at that mind. Look at the little mind, all closed. Outside the little mind,
already know
what's
what's happening.
happening. I got something. If you want to get hit, keep doing what you're doing. If you want to be smart, then think. Open the little mind. Now you know what's happening. Just move. Make up your mind. Find the line between yes and no. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Just move. Open the mind. You see all
what about if you
turn it the other way? Better, much better, really better. That's it. That's the thing. The thing you want to do. Just for now, that's the thing. Okay, I got it. I bring it on. I mean, I know how to handle stuff now. This is good. It's like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got it. Or plus, minuses, and questions. You know, I can do this. You know that sign they have by the railroad? You know, that's how I'll remember it that way. I don't get it. What are you talking about? I just don't. What's the point here? Think of a map, and change is like an intersection, you see? And then every time you come to an intersection or a chance to make a decision, you'll think of 3 things. Always,
All
3
of them,
things.
all.
Briefly, maybe, but just all of them. You remember this. The problem is yes or no thinking. Why is that a problem?
It's all the good stuff that way. That's why.
Put your thoughts in 3 piles. Yes, I agree, I'll go, this is the way. Things I don't want, I won't do, just for now, won't do it, sorry. And then you always get new information, because you gotta know what's going on, right? Traffic light thinking. Which one is first? Doesn't matter which one's first, just do all 3. If I forget or something, what's most important here? Your plan is a box. Get out of the box. You can think both yes and no and ask questions all at the same time, because that opens the mind. Part 3, discussion. Pause for an exercise when you see this screen and hear the bell. Let's begin. The first exercise will give you a chance to answer the question, what do you think? First, name an object that you can buy. And second, divide the group in half and choose sides. One group will be for buying it and the other group will be against buying it. Now discuss the purchase. Try to make the other side think the same way that you do, but don't change your mind. Well, you just had an argument. Now, some people like arguments, and other people really don't like arguments. Now let's discuss what you think and feel about arguments. So here's a formula for getting in an argument. You just ask somebody what they think, and then they've got to tell you they're for it or against it, period. That's what you think. That's how you think. You're for it or you're against it. What's the what we're thinking about here? There is no what, there's a that. What do you think about that? Forget the what, it's the that. You can only have one way to think. You've got to either choose that you like it or you don't like it, and that's that.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm right and
I'm
you
always
are wrong.
right.
There's another way to answer the question. What do you think? You could say, well, there are pros and cons. There are things I like about it, and there are things I don't like. Here's what I like, da 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 da, and here's what I don't like, da 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 da. The pluses and the minuses, the yeses and the nos. Well, I like this about it, but there are these disadvantages, you know. On the one hand, but on the other hand, now choose another object that you can buy and have everyone comment on the decision by giving an equal number of pluses and minuses. 2 things I like and 2 things I don't like. You have just experienced 2 different kinds of thinking, yes or no thinking, and yes and no thinking. Discuss how each one of them made you feel and which one you prefer. Do you look weak or stupid if you say both pluses and minuses? In this exercise, we'll talk about your expectations. Everybody goes down the road of life, and everybody's road is different. In small groups, discuss what you expect your future will be like. Now discuss the same topic, but this time look at it 3 ways. What you don't like about your situation and your future, what you do, and questions. The questions are particularly important. Make sure you have an equal number of points in each of the 3 categories. In this next exercise, we're going to talk about what you can do. We all know what it feels like if you're going down the road of life and all of a sudden a problem comes at you. Have you ever solved a problem by thinking? In small groups, share your experience. In this exercise, we're going to talk about how you define your problem. Often the way a problem looks to you is very different from the way your problem looks to other people. Choose a problem in your life that you're willing to talk about. Now describe your problem by putting your thoughts in 3 categories. Things that you don't like, things that are okay that you can use to make things better, and then information that you'd like, some questions you have. Get an equal number of thoughts in each of the 3 categories. And now discuss, how do you feel when you think like this? Traffic light thinking. And what do you think other people will think about the way you're responding to things? 3 things. I have pluses, I have minuses, and I have some questions. In this next exercise, we're going to talk about anger and other ways of saying no. It's important to know how to say no. I don't want that to happen here. I don't want that to happen now. I've got some questions, but I know some things. But sometimes saying no can get to be a problem. When nothing else is on your mind but no. When anger explodes, your thinking becomes kind of like a video game. And the object is you think of all the things that stand in your way, and then you get really angry at each one of them. It just sort of looks like that. And now, in small groups, discuss this question. Which do you feel more often, anger or depression? When life deals us a problem, we get 3 cards. So, what do? Well, you play your cards and you make some habits. So I can say, whenever I see da-da-da-da-da-da, I get angry. And whenever I see di-da-da-da-da, it makes me depressed. Now discuss what kind of triggers make you angry and what kind of things make you depressed. The strongest thing that I can know is many ways to say no. Here's a true story. A woman was in charge of a halfway house for recovering heroin and crack addicts. Some men came into the house with machine guns. They wanted to know about one man who was living there. Now, she was upstairs, and the people in the house came up and said that there were men downstairs and they had machine guns. She came down the stairs and she said, "Can I help you?" She said, "He lives here, but he doesn't have any money." The men got angry. She told them no. He wasn't there, he didn't have the money, he wasn't going to get the money, and he wasn't going to be able to pay them back. And guess what? She got her way. The men went away, and they didn't come back. Now everyone, think of someone you know who was able to say no effectively without exploding, without losing control. And now share that story with the rest of us. And now you have to solve a big problem. A rock is falling down and it's going to hit you in just a few seconds. You have a flashlight, a cell phone, and a rope. Quick, what do you do? What do you do? Well, you just move a little. Like many problems, you don't have to destroy the rock. You just have to get out of its way. And you don't have to get far out of its way. Just inches will do it. In the next exercise, we're going to talk about the problem with them. Now pretend the world is made up of two kinds of folks, oranges and apples. Now divide yourself into two groups, the oranges and the apples. And each group choose a recorder, someone to just count up the number of ideas you have. Let's pause while you get into groups. Okay, oranges, how many bad things can you say about those apples? Bruises. And at the same time, apples, you just think of all the mean things you can say about those oranges. Thick skin. And while you're saying bad things about the other group, just go right ahead and make judgments about what they're thinking and what they're feeling and the things they've done wrong before and what they're really like inside. The group with the most ideas wins. Now let's look at what just happened. The exercise forced you to use yes or no thinking, and you tried to answer a really silly question, such as, what is an apple really thinking? On some issues, the smartest thing you can do is say, you know, I don't know, and I don't think it's really important right now. You don't have to have opinions on everything. You don't have to make judgments about everything. As a matter of fact, you look smarter and wiser if you don't. I have to be careful what I focus on, because if I close my mind, I can limit my choices, and the next thing I know, I've painted myself into a little box that's not at all pleasant. Now I know another way to think.